This is the time of the year, right? We kind of sort of ask people what they expect the year to pan out like. And we kind of sort of did this in a big way with a CNBC-TV18 market poll. Mangalam is here to decode what lies ahead for the market this year and which factors will play the most significant and pivotal role. This is the result of the CNBC-TV18 poll that we conducted. Mangalam, over to you.
Well, we reached out to 50 market experts across funds, brokerages, financial institutions, basically the people who make the market. And here's what the street is really thinking about in 2026. We obviously started with the returns. Remember, last year, the Nifty gave you 10%, but was a severe underperformer. And at the start of this year, the mood is positive, but it's not euphoric because over half the experts expect the Nifty to deliver between 10 to 20% results or returns over the next year. A third are between 0 to 10%, a more conservative number. And only a small minority is worried about a negative year. So the optimism is there, but the expectations are grounded. The second question, where should investors be positioned? And these were the options that we had given them. There was clear preference for large caps. About 41% of the experts say large caps are the ones that offer best risk reward in 2026. And this despite a sharp underperformance that we saw in small and mid caps in 2025. Mid caps and small caps do find support, but the enthusiasm clearly tapers off as you go lower down the market cap curve. Micro caps, they do not get a single vote. Sector-wise, again, we've been speaking to experts out here and the poll was pretty similar. One sector really stands out. It's financials that lead the pack, with half the experts backing the financial sector. So if you look at the results of that one, 50% backing financials. Yes, metals and other pockets also find favor. But even as people are, calling the correction and perhaps value accretion, tech and pharma by itself remain selective bets rather than broad consensus calls. So what really drives the market in 2026? The answer is very, very clear. We put out a few parameters and nearly 2/3 of the experts say earnings. Yes, earnings recovery will be the single biggest growth driver for the markets next year. Yet there will be trade deals and geopolitics that would matter, but not as much. Fundamentals are back at the center of the story. Speaking about the trade deals, on the India-US trade deal, the street is quite decisive. More than 3/4 expect that the deal comes through in the next 3 months. Remember, this was pretty similar to what we saw at the start of last year as well. But here, the point is that no one thinks it would be pushed out beyond this year. So next 3 months, 77%, within 6 months, 22%, and no one believes that it won't happen this year. Last year was a big one for gold and silver. What are the experts saying on commodities? Well, the street doesn't believe that gold and silver's outperformance will continue this year. Yeah, they will do well, but the bigger outperformers would be copper and aluminum. Nearly 68.18% of the respondents betting on copper and aluminum more than silver and gold. That's a clear reflection of infrastructure, manufacturing, and energy transition themes. And finally, the qualitative questions, the risks, the words that keep coming up are geopolitics, the market concerns, and around AI, Donald Trump's policies. All these factors clearly remain the biggest swing factor. At the start of the year, we also ask, what's the one big thing to watch behind taxes and, the announcements that would come in the budget? Well, most of the analysts on the street or the experts on the street are expecting, these to be the important words out there. Any sort of tinkering with capital gains taxes, fiscal stimulus, higher government spending, and obviously market experts will watch out very closely for removal or changes in STT, STCG, and LTCG. So what's the takeaway? 2026 looks like a year of steady, earnings-led returns, less noise, more numbers, and a market that rewards patience over excitement.
Okay, all right, Mangalam, thanks a lot for that.